He can't complete a sentence.
Nobody can explain to me how allowing millions of people from places unknown, from countries unknown.
He can't complete a thought.
We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them. And they're pouring into our country, and they're bringing with them tremendous problems.
He talks about Crooked Joe is the blood of countless victims.
Crooked Joe is the blood of countless innocent victims. The United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation.
This is vicious violation. I mean, he just,
does he even think about what he's going to say? Does somebody give him a little piece of paper or something? Because that's clear he doesn't. He doesn't even think.
This Governor Newsom from California, isn't that his name, Newsom?
He's trying to be nasty.
And then, trying to be nasty, but when he does that fifth grade or really 5-year-old taunt, Newsom? Is that his name, Newsom?
Isn't that his name, Newsom? What he's done to California is unbelievable. We did much better in 2020 than we ever even thought about doing in 2016, and very bad things happened.
I mean, talk about losing about 18 miles off your fastball. Yeah. I mean, this guy's pitching 72 miles an hour down the middle of the plate. I mean...
So that's a mashup of Joe and Mika hammering Donald Trump's recent border speech. Between the hilarious takes from Morning Joe and his team on MSNBC and Donald Trump's lengthy, disjointed, and stumbling remarks, we could have done an hour of this. But you get the picture. Donald Trump was all over the map, and at least the morning crew on MSNBC are calling him out. Now, never mind Trump's verbal gas, the content of what Trump was saying or trying to say was also noteworthy because of what Joe Scarborough pointed out. Trump lies. And Trump often delivers epic whoppers about the border.
When he ran and was talking about the border wall, Barack Obama and Joe Biden had illegal border crossings on the southern border at a 50-year low. He's just making this stuff up every day. And then the numbers exploded under him. Then they exploded even higher under Joe Biden. And Joe Biden and Senator Langford, the most conservative senator probably in the United States Senate, and Democrats came together in a bipartisan bill.
A bipartisan bill that Donald Trump rejected and told Republicans to reject because it would have given President Biden an election year win. In other words, Donald Trump put politics ahead of the issue of migrant crisis that Republicans insist is a security threat. Now, you heard the Trump insults in his border speech. Here's what President Biden said along the border on the same day.
So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? There's no red state or blue state where I come from. They're just communities and families looking for help. Compromise is part of the process. That's how democracy works. That's how it's supposed to work.
Of course, while President Biden talks about compromise and having a democracy that works, Donald Trump is delivering taunts and insults and bragging about preserving the border crisis. And Trump has done this repeatedly.
I notice a lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully, they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay. Please blame it on me. Please. And in this deal, which we, by the way, killed. I think we killed it. I think it's dead.
Even some conservative Republicans are perplexed and embarrassed.
I think the border is a very important issue for Donald Trump. And the fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling.
I'm extremely disappointed in the very strange maneuvering by many on the right to torpedo a potential border reform bill. If we have a bill that, on net, significantly decreases illegal immigration, and we sabotage that is inconsistent with what we told our voters we would do. But it would be a pretty unacceptable dereliction of your duty.
And that dereliction of duty is especially impactful in U.S. towns along the Mexico border. One resident of Eagle Pass, Texas, the very border town where Donald Trump delivered his speech, spoke out to CNN ahead of the Trump speech.
Mr. Trump, change your ways, because what you're doing is you're hurting the people that need the most help. Our community, if you were to study the demographics, it's not easy. It's not easy being on the border. And this unwanted attention, this unwanted militarization of our community is unwelcome.
Militarization, ramping up hate towards migrants, stoking division. Those are all part of the Trump playbook, though, according to Trump critics. And so, America's drifting ever further away from potential legislative agreements and bipartisan solutions. And it's not only a potential threat to democracy. Trump critics say America's fundamental way of life, our freedom, is also now in jeopardy. And that is a theme in one of the most recent ads by the anti-Trump Lincoln Project. Watch.
Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth.
When freedom is in danger, Americans always rise to the challenge. Doing the hard thing, the right thing, which are often the same thing. 8 generations of Americans have fought for the freedoms we have today. History called, they answered.
The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price.
In 2024, the fight for freedom is different. It isn't in a foreign land on some distant battlefield. This year, it's at the ballot box. And this time, the hero is you.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Another powerful ad by the Lincoln Project. When history looks back at the 2024 presidential campaign, it will record that the effort to speak the truth about Donald Trump was led by the Lincoln Project and by MSNBC's Morning Joe. By the way, Donald Trump's lawyer, Lena Habba, is having to eat her own words as Trump flips out over a court-ordered bond payment.
We have to post the bond, which is the full amount and some, and we will be prepared to do that.
Donald Trump's lawyer, Lena Habba, was unequivocal.
You're looking at roughly, let's call it, close to $400 million.
Does Donald Trump have that kind of money sitting around?
Yes. I mean, he does. Of course, he has money. You know, he's a billionaire.
So he'll just write a check, Alina?
I'm not going to get into privileged information, but there will be a bond and there will be no issues with that. So that's all I'll say on that.
Okay.
A bond. No issues with that. Except in reality.
Donald Trump's lawyers have now disclosed that he is unable to secure a bond for his $455 million judgment in the New York fraud case.
They wrote in a legal filing the exorbitant and punitive amount of the judgment, coupled with an unlawful and unconstitutional blanket prohibition on lending transactions, would make it impossible to secure and post a complete bond.
Now, he had offered Kira to put up $100 million in just the last couple of hours. That was rejected by the New York Attorney General. He said, look, you got to put up more. Court of Appeals agreed with that and said you need to put the bond up now.
This would mean that Trump has to put up all of the money.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular was from Civilize, who wrote, Habba's 15 minutes of fame is almost a patriot's vote. Well, I hope everybody votes in 2024. This election is a big one. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump fumbling his border speech and getting ridiculed. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.